are on our way to Reningers Antique Market in Denver, Pennsylvania. This is one of the main reasons why we came to Pennsylvania in the first place, so we cannot wait to see it. This is interesting, Mr. Bartender. Looks like there's a jigger in there, maybe. Oh, yep. Not that interesting, but I like the box it came in. Ooh, look what Eric just found. This looks like Hall Poppy pattern. Did you have one of these Viewmasters when you were a kid? Because when I was a kid, I was all about mine. There's some interesting smalls in here. Oh, here's another relic from my childhood, Charlie Brown. And this is interesting, a little silver plated cup, I think. Oh, it's Little Bo Peep. Nice to see Dolly Parton here. This rocker is so cute. I think it must be for a doll. There's some pretty jewelry here. I love these Toby jugs in the form of Henry VIII's wives, but unfortunately these are bigger than the size I collect. They're awesome, but I collect the smaller scale version. I wish I could find those here. I would definitely scoop them up if they had them. Here's some nice rugs. And some textiles. Ooh, nice crazy quilt. This one looks like it's in really good condition. I have one at home, but mine is so rough. This one, again, really pristine looking. Nice colors and patterns. And this is a great bookend, but it's missing its friend. Maybe that's what Thinker is thinking about. Where did my friend go? What do we have here? Oh, isn't this so pretty? Here's the back stamp. It's hand painted. It's very sweet. Ooh, menacing axe. There's some very pretty artwork. The good old days with the stagecoach. Oh my goodness, and this is interesting. And this one is terrifying. I don't know who Jay Grimaldi was, but yikes. And here's a little matching set to the first one I showed you. These are just lovely, especially the dogs. This is such a beautiful runner. It's possibly Scandinavian and $50. If it were like $30, I would buy it. This is a sweet little carving for $25. So many little interesting things to check out on these tables, so I'm trying to give you a sense of what it's like to look around here. Eric's checking out those little child's toys. More beautiful textiles. They suck me in every time. I like the shape of this basket as well. This is a beautiful collection of jewelry. I love Bakelite. Continuing our search, I just came across this big collection of vintage hats, and some of them are awesome. This one is especially good, but I think this guy is my favorite. So pretty and elegant. Let's go down and see if there's any other good ones. Oh, this one is sweet. My grandmother actually wore a hat very similar to this one to my aunt's wedding. Eric is checking out this fabulous wall-mounted eagle, but it is possible that we have a little too much eagle decor at this point, so he's putting it down.
That's nice.
This is a gorgeous penny rug and very old and in such good condition. It's so lovely. I don't know if we can pay what he's asking for it though. There's some fabulous crocks and mixing bowls. I love this table. Everything looks so fabulous all together. It says Kokana Club. Not sure what that means. I love the way things are displayed here. Beautiful blue and white, isn't it? Here's another nice table. There's some cool primitives here, lots of wood and metal. These are all things we love to see. And this place is full of these kinds of little cases with ephemera and other kinds of smalls that are easy to overlook if you're not careful. Here's another great table. Again, I want you to feel like you're here with me, and this is very much representative of the kinds of things we're seeing today. There's Eric. Fabulous tramp art box. Wow. And there's some really pretty blue and white here. Oh, this one is gorgeous. So many treasures in this place, it's hard to even know where to look. Interesting books over here. The School for Scandal. That sounds racy. I have this book. On this table, we have lots of dolls and stuffed animals and things. Most of them lean towards the creepy side, in my opinion, and definitely in Eric's opinion. But in case there's any doll collectors or appreciators out there, I thought I would just show just a few of the dolls that I'm seeing here. I think these are called Kakeshi dolls, if I'm not mistaken. Eric and I are laughing over these. You're supposed to put your gum in them and then you can have it again later. Ew. Checking out this table with the beautiful rooster bowl and some other really fun things like the bunnies, of course. This is adorable, little Wedgwood ornament. I'm drooling over these, of course. We had pretty good success at the outdoor market. Now we're headed into the indoor section, so we'll see if the stuff is as good inside as it was outside. Ready?
Ready, Freddy.
These little chick salt and pepper shakers in the hatched egg are too cute to be believed. Just wondering who made this. Hand painted in Japan. They are $25. If I didn't know for a fact that my cats would break these, I would take them home. Here's a really beautiful booth full of fabulous things. I'm really noticing that the dealers in this place are making good use of every square inch, which I certainly get. This area is fabulous. It is full of glass made by manufacturers that I am completely unfamiliar with for the most part. I love this windmill vase especially, but it's really informative just to go through here and read who made what and to get a sense of what's out there. Gosh. I love this old cabinet. It's so fabulous. And this is a beautiful light fixture, only $35. This is like a mid-century modern paradise in this section of the store we're walking through. Eric was pointing out this tray to me with a question about whether my brother might like it. I really like it, but I'm not sure it's his cup of tea, so I think we're gonna leave it here. We had this cooler when I was a kid. We used to take it out on the boat with us. This may well be my favorite booth yet because it's filled with toys from my own childhood, like this Ferris wheel, which I had. And and lots of other really interesting things. I see some Weeble Wobbles. Do you remember Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down? I'll remember that all my life, I think. I had this old boat when I was a kid. I used to love it. So fun to see it here. An old record player. This one is a Sesame Street record player. I had a version of this radio, not this exact one, but very similar, so it's fun to see it. Oh my gosh, I could just spend all day in this place. Oh my goodness, I loved this parking garage when I was a kid. It's so interesting to see it here. Oh my gosh, this booth is a mess because all of the children and then adult children like myself have been digging through it endlessly. The dealer is so nice and her prices are so fair. It's like I keep doing double takes at her prices because they are nowhere near what I would pay for this stuff in Connecticut. I had that tractor. There's lots of little Fisher Price people in this bin and a dog. What an interesting carousel picture, isn't it? It's humongous. I don't know who could fit that in their home. And there's some pretty cool signs here too. This is an awesome collection of Pyrex, and almost everything in this booth is completely pristine, like it's never ever been used. Little Amish butter pat for $2.20. That's about the going rate for it, I find. Just a little update. We actually contacted Eric's boss, who is also his friend, to see if she wanted to buy these Amish butter print Cinderella bowls. She apparently had them when she was growing up. They make her think of her mother. So she said, yes, please snag them for me. So they are getting boxed up as we speak. This is such a cute collection of old vintage toys. Interesting print. Eric has decided to buy this sign. It says Hartford Accident Indemnity Company. Hartford is like 15 to 20 minutes away from our house. Eric loves old metal signs. He loves Connecticut memorabilia. So this will be a perfect addition to his collection in the barn. It's so much fun to go through this pile of old quilts. This one is $3.95. So these are high prices, but it's still fun just to look. I'm not going to buy anything here. I just want to take in all of the different designs. It never fails to amaze me how incredibly talented quilters are. So much goes into the making of these. They're like beautiful works of art that are also so functional and cozy. I love them. Eric has been contemplating this child's toy, but I think he's going to walk away because the price is just a little more than he feels like paying. But it's still really fun to see it here, and he's enjoying checking out how it works, as you can see for yourself. This is what I consider to be an Eric corner. This is definitely all the stuff that he loves. So he's been spending quite a bit of time going through this area. And he's looked at a lot of gas pumps today, but he just hasn't seen the exact thing that would make him want to pay the kind of money you have to invest in pieces like this. This really is a beautiful one. It is $2,900. They are always very expensive and, of course, hard to find. We're headed out, but we had a fabulous time at Reningers. We are sorry to say goodbye to it. Eric and I are headed to 272 Antique and Collectibles Marketplace in Stevens, Pennsylvania. We've been there once before, and we can't wait to see it again. Here's another fractor. I still don't like this one as much as the one I saw yesterday, $29.95. There's some pretty red and white here. I like these little egg cups. $6.50 per cup. No marking. This is a really pretty hand-painted box, and apparently the artist has signed it. There's a lot of detail. I like these huge old spools. This was used for making textiles. I think they have a great look and look especially nice in a laundry room. This is a great Fisher-Price circus set. I saw this the last time I was here, or I saw something similar to it. It is really cool. I think this is my favorite kind of butter churn when they're in like some kind of ceramic or pottery base. This one is $1.55. This is a nice tool work bin. I like the feet on it. Very nice piece. At this point, our truck is pretty full. I didn't think I could get to the point where I've actually done enough antiquing, but I think I might be there. I'm tired, and given that there's not a lot more room, I think we're just about done here. We might have one more store in us, but I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. We decided we had the energy for one last stop, so we're headed to Mother Tucker's. We were here in December, and so we're excited to check it out again. Let's go inside. This is a gorgeous tray. It's made up of individual tiles. I love the ocean scene. $80 for this. It's so nice to see some Port Marion. This coffee pot is $74. I don't have a coffee pot, but I also don't feel like spending $74 right now. I do have the teapot, and there's some pretty plates here and some other bits and pieces. I have those lotus plates, those blue plates. I like the little kissing couple there on the picture. Nice little nesting Pyrex set. So many treasures here. This store is very large. Eric, of course, is already making progress ahead of me. He's a much faster looker than I am. These are so cute. These are old vintage Christmas candles in the form of like choir members. And there are my bunnies. Okay, that was just a really quick stop because we are so hungry. We are headed to the restaurant where I had the best stromboli of my life. This is it, Two Cousins Pizza. Everything on this menu is amazing, and I know because we've sampled quite a few things, but I have one thing on my mind. Where is it? Oh, stromboli. And I love the veggie. That's what I'm getting. I cannot wait to get it. Here it is. Oh my gosh, it's as good as I remember. Eric got a pizza, and there's plenty of leftovers for later. Well, we're headed home now, and we are so sad to say goodbye to our Pennsylvania trip. It was an awesome 3 days. I cannot wait to come back. All I can think of is when we can next arrange it because Pennsylvania is awesome. I hope you're ready to dive into day 3 of our Pennsylvania antiquing adventures because I know I am. We found a lot of really good stuff, and we started off at a place that was probably the main reason why we went to Pennsylvania this time in the first place, and that was Reningers Market. Now, I want to pronounce that as Reningers, but all the locals said Reningers, so that must be right. So I'm going to say Reningers for the purposes of this video. Please don't kill me if I'm mispronouncing it. We really wanted to go, and we heard, even while we were in Pennsylvania, we were asking people about some of the flea markets, and this one was recommended again and again. So what I really liked about our 3-day Pennsylvania adventure was that each one was kind of anchored by a flea market, which was why we were there in the summertime. We wanted to hit flea markets. So the first day was Green Dragon Flea Market. The second day was Shupp's Grove, and the third day was Reningers. And it was a great way to kind of lay out our time. And I would definitely recommend that, and I want to do it again for sure. So let me show you what we got. Now, Reningers was really interesting because there was an outside portion of the flea market, and then there was a whole big inside portion of the flea market. We started outside because, common theme to this whole trip, rain was threatened. It wasn't raining at the time. In fact, the sun was out and it was really beautiful. But we figured in case that changes, let's start with outside. We had also heard that at flea markets, sometimes vendors would leave early, and we wanted to make sure we checked out everything before they started to skedaddle. And that ended up being a really good strategy. So the first things I picked up were this adorable recipe box. This is in the Hall Poppy pattern, which I love and collect. Eric actually found this. This says Ohio Art Company 48, so I think this is from 1948. Here's the inside. I love metal things. I love poppy pattern, and I love recipe boxes. So this was a 3-time winner. I'm not gonna actually put recipe cards in this myself. I have a recipe system that works really well for me with a thrifted recipe box. I actually showed a video about that a while back. It's really good, but I will just keep this box and add it to my collection because I think it's so adorable. And I also bought in that same booth, okay, you're just gonna have to bear with me. You're not gonna be able to see too much right this minute, but I bought this little silver-plated child's cup, and it's really hard to tell because it's so tarnished, but it has an image of Little Bo Peep, and that's why I bought it. Little Bo Peep is there looking for her sheep. So I'm gonna have to give this a good polish and see if I can find that image because I thought it was so adorable. The back stamp says W. Rogers and Son, EPNS, and then it has like some numbers and things on it. But oh my gosh, I wish I could show it to you better. And it says actually on it, Little Bo Peep has lost her sheep. It's actually engraved on the cup. So very sweet. I think I have just the spot for this. Right up here with all of the rest of my Hall Poppy. I think it's so cute. I was really happy to find it. Okay, let's see if we can clean up our Little Bo Peep silver cup with a little silver polish and the help of a weird cat in the windowsill. Oh, it's already coming up really easily. Wow. I don't know how you feel. I mean, I would never choose to polish silver given the choice of all the different things to do in the world, but I do find it very satisfying, especially when I don't have to scrub it like crazy. This is coming up beautifully. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, I can do better, but you can already see it's coming up really well. So I'm gonna dry this off and I think give it just one more polish and then we should be in business. I don't know what this cat's doing. Here's a close-up of the silver-plated cup. Didn't it come out so well? And now you can really see the design details. I love the way this looks. I think it was just a cute little find. So now, the moment I've been waiting for, my two favorite finds of the entire trip. And this was from the same seller. Now, this seller was so funny and so friendly. As we walked by, he was just chatting and he was making it clear that he was ready to bargain and negotiate. He was just really delightful to talk to. We enjoyed him very much. And he had some really interesting and unique things. And before I show you what we picked up, I will say in general, that was my favorite part about going to these flea markets in Pennsylvania. We kept finding really interesting things that we don't usually come across. And that is really great for Eric and I because we go to so many antique stores and I go thrifting all the time and to estate sales. We do a lot of that kind of stuff. So we've seen a lot of stuff. When we find something that really makes us go, wow, that's a little bit more unusual. I, of course, get excited about lots of things when I'm thrifting and out and about, but it's not too often that I see things that I haven't seen before, and this thing definitely fits the bill. So I'm gonna hold it up for you. This is a handmade penny rug. Let me hold it up. From the early 1820s. You can see it has the date right on it. This was taken out of an auction that was being run for a home that had 5 or 6 generations that had lived in it consecutively. This had apparently been stored in a trunk, which is why it's not in tatters, because something this old would usually not look this good as a textile. Here's the back. It was made on the back of what looks to be a burlap sack. And I think the color would have been something different. I do not necessarily think it would have been this brown tone. This might have been some other color that has faded into this color, but I love it. And I'm gonna hold this up for just a second, a little closer as I continue to talk about it. But each piece is kind of individually used, and it's got this great detail all around, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was an awesome find. We paid a little bit for this. The price was fair. It was definitely the most we spent on any one item, but we thought it had to come home with us. And I think this might be a good time to take just a minute to talk about penny rugs. Let's start with the definition. A penny rug is not really a rug. It's a handmade, one-of-a-kind decorative mat, originally made up of various sized wool circles, stitched together using a blanket stitch for strength and durability. They were known as penny rugs because crafters used actual pennies as a template to measure their circles. Sometimes pennies were even sewn inside the rugs to help them lie flat, although that wasn't the case with my rug. I already checked. Penny rugs were usually made out of very small scraps of wool or felt from old worn clothing, hats, or blankets, and typically backed with material like burlap, as you saw in the back of mine, which adds to their rustic appearance. Penny rugs were commonly used to decorate the surface of tables, mantels, and other furniture. They were also used as bed coverings, wall hangings, and pillows. On occasion, they were used as floor coverings or even hearthside rugs. Penny rugs are believed to date back to at least the 1700s, but they became popular in the mid-1800s around the time of the Civil War. They were repopularized in the 2000s by more modern-day crafters. The most commonly found penny rugs are made of 3 different size circles, one sewn on top of the other. But there were other styles as well. For instance, some crafters created a decorative edging in the shape of scallops, teardrops, and tongues. My penny rug has a distinctive tongue shape that actually reminds me a little bit of feathers. Some crafters incorporated designs that told unique folk stories, and still others used applique designs of things like farmhouses, animals, flowers, and other shapes. Today, we recognize penny rugs as folk art, but it's interesting to reflect on their original use, an economical way to give old, worn fabric scraps a new and beautiful lease on life. I have the antique penny rug right here on the big blanket chest, and it's under the TV, which may not be ideal, but we watch this TV. We're in the master bedroom right now. And I love looking at this little piece and seeing like the softness and the layers and the little bit of color around the edge. I just think it looks really unique here. And the nice thing about this spot is that it's completely safe from any possible spills or cat claws or anything. So it's working for me, and I think it was a really nice find. I'm enjoying it very much. So from the same family and the same auction, the seller picked up this rug. And I love this. This is handmade as well. It is this fabulous barn scene with the pigs and the tractor and the windmill. It is pristine. Look at all of that beautiful hooked rug work. It is so beautiful. So of course I'm gonna keep this because I'm obsessed with it. And this was made by, like, I guess the great-great-granddaughter of whoever made the penny rug. And this one is nice because it is signed. So this person, oops, where is it? Ah, here it is. This person wrote her name on the bottom. So her name was Lydia Miller, and she made this in 1983. And she also had her own label, which is so great. My grandmother and my aunt both had their own labels made as well. So that has her name on it too. And we thought this was so beautiful. We bought this, you will not believe, for $20. And he gave us a good deal because we had paid up a little bit for the other rug. So I'm not sure where this is going, but it is going somewhere and I love it. Look at even the stone house. That is one of my favorite things about Pennsylvania. I love driving by all of the gorgeous stone houses. We don't have anything like that in Connecticut. That's what we bought outside, but then we made our way inside and there were tons and tons of things inside. Oh my gosh. I mean, you really need a lot of time to go through the whole place well. And I'm going to show you something that just absolutely made me smile. It is not in good condition, but I love it. Oops. And it is this fabulous Fisher-Price parking garage. Oh my goodness. I played with this as a child. This is so dusty. I played with this as a child and had hours of fun. I actually didn't own it. My neighbor had one. Actually, I think his older sister had it. And we really enjoyed this. So, oh my gosh. This one is not in great shape. You can see it's got some issues, but it was only $10. Oh my gosh. I just had to have this. So I'm gonna hang on to this for a while and let my 1970s childhood just sort of come back to me. And then eventually maybe I'll sell it. I mean, I won't get much for it. Like I said, it's not in great condition, but for $10, I could not leave it behind. And then of course, to have the parking garage and really use it properly, you need to have at least 2 Fisher-Price vehicles. These were, I think they were like $3 each. So I got 2 of those, and then I got 4 people. I think they were $2 each. Aren't they cute? And we had to look really hard to find the ones with the wooden faces because that's what I grew up with, the Fisher-Price figures with wooden faces. Most of them had plastic faces, and there is nothing wrong with that, but that's just not what I had. So I'm gonna show you 2 people in the cars. In fact, I think we need a closer look. I have so many things on this table right now, but here is the general sense. So the cars can go right around the ramp, and it goes two ways, or they can park in the parking lot, or they can go inside this elevator. Oh, which still works. And the bell works. Oh, no, maybe it doesn't work. No, it goes to 2 floors. I don't think it goes down to the bottom floor. The elevator is not operational at this moment, but that's okay. There's the bell that we're hearing. It's got these little stop signs. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I think maybe this was for a helicopter. Do you remember? I think it was for a helicopter. I'm not sure. Anyway, it is what it is. These are the pieces that are still here, and I think they're adorable. Next up, they're gonna get a really good clean. Oh, by the way, let's just look at the stickers inside. There's a little service station. Oh my gosh, so cute. To prove to you that I'm not a complete child who just buys weird Fisher-Price stuff, I want to show you the next thing I got that I really, really love. This is going, I'm pretty sure, in the study. And it is this fabulous reversible eagle throw blanket. Oops. I don't know, which way does it go? I guess they're in different directions. So I'll just show it to you this way. It's got fringe on the ends. I cannot wait to wash it. The colors on this are so good. And, you know, again, that bicentennial childhood nostalgia thing is strong in me. And this was very much the sort of thing that was super common around that time. And I think this will look fantastic, as I said, probably in the study. And I got this for a really good price. I don't remember exactly what I paid. I feel like it was, oh geez, I shouldn't even guess because I just don't remember. But it was good enough that I wanted to pick it up. I did not spend much on it. And then here is the other side. So as I said, it's reversible. I think I like the green side the best. So I hope that does prove to you that I am in fact an adult and not just a kid buying Fisher-Price toys. Here is the eagle blanket in the study, exactly where I thought it would go. I have it across the back of this chair, and I think it adds a little bit of color and softness right in front of the roll top desk. So here's the full look of what we've got going on up here. And I think this blanket fits in really well. And I thought I would start with the lighter side of the blanket for the summer. And then when we get to the colder weather, I'm gonna use the dark green side just to change it up a little. I like having some options. And I think this blanket provides me with some nice ones. Here's the rug in the study. In case you're wondering, this rug had belonged to my mother. And the leaves in this rug used to be a really minty green, but they've faded a lot over the years. That's okay, I still like it. I think this blanket is a nice addition to the decor in this room. My last purchase was at an antique store. It was at Mother Tucker's, I think, but I will link it below because again, my memory was like, I don't know, it was all a whirlwind. But I picked up some of these old mason jars. This one says Atlas Mason's patent November 30th, 1858. That doesn't mean this one is from 1858. That's the patent date. So I picked up this one. This one is very similar, and then a smaller one. And I like that all of the writing is just, they all have slightly different details, probably because they were made at slightly different times. And it's hard to see because it's glass, but they are all slightly different, the same color. They all have these metal screw tops. And these are going actually on a shelf in my laundry room so I can put some laundry themed items in them, which I think is gonna look really pretty and just kind of make me smile. I mean, I think it's probably fair to say nobody wants to do the laundry, But if you have to do the laundry, isn't it nice to see some pretty antique things while you're doing it? I think so anyway. I'm gonna put these vintage clothespins that I picked up at Shrubs Grove. I showed you that in my last video. And I'm gonna pop these into the mason jars because I think they look kind of interesting there. And I like how the glass lets you see through them. Eric is kindly installing this shelf that I picked up at an estate sale a while back. I've been saving it to go right in this spot. So we're finally getting to that project and it's gonna work out just great. Here is the look I was going for. So the shelf is perfect right over the dryer. I think it fits very well. And I have all of my favorite little laundry things displayed here. There's a little picture of Hever Castle above and a sconce that's annoyingly in my way. But I love the way these clothespins look in the jars. I think they look really nice. I have this little lint brush that I picked up at an estate sale very recently. That was at the 3-generational estate sale I showed not that long ago. And I have this Mr. Sprinkle starch bottle that my mother had. This wasn't hers, but she had one just like this. So I bought that one on eBay. And this little basket was thrifted from Goodwill, and I have just kind of miscellaneous supplies in there. So yeah, I really like this. I think it's fun, and I'm sure I'll mix it up. It's feeding time at the zoo. All of our friends have just had their lunch. Here's Miss Licorice. Just thought I'd give you a shot at her cute face. They're all excited because they've been let outside and they've had their lunch and there's lots of commotion, and so we've got lots of wagging tails all over the place. There's Wilson. He's happier when he's on a rug and not on the bare floor because it's just a little more stability for him. Iris is getting in on the action. Her face is healing. It's still a slow process, and I give her antihistamine drops in her ears every day, which is delightful. But she's looking good. And there's her crazy brother. I'll take him off this counter and wash the counter. Don't worry. But these are all of the furry friends of Worthington Home. Okay, so is it weird for me to say I'm actually sad that this video is coming to an end, because I feel like it's ending my trip all over again. I've been like experiencing my wonderful 3-day trip through filming these hauls, and now that I'm done, I'm like, oh, I have to get back there. I can't wait to do it. If you have been thinking about going to Pennsylvania in these general areas that I have been showing you, to do some antiquing, oh my gosh, do it. Amazing. And like I said, I did not hit thrift stores the way that I would love to in the future. And I would definitely want to go back to the flea markets again, hopefully in better weather. And there's so much of Pennsylvania is a huge state. I scratched the very surface of what is there, and I would love to see more. Now that I've been, I'm just like greedy about going back. So that will happen at some point. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is the last of the Pennsylvania series. If you enjoyed it, please hit like. If you haven't subscribed, I would love it if you would. And I hope you have a fabulous day. See you next time. Bye for now.